This is Halloween. This is Halloween. 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 This is Halloween. Welcome, everyone, to the Halloween edition of IE Sports Radio's premier professional wrestling podcast. Hell, it's only a professional wrestling podcast. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another IE wrestling show. What is good, everyone out there? I hope everyone tonight, all of your children and your friends and your family, you all have a wonderful, safe, happy, fun Halloween tonight. Yes, it is Halloween. I personally am going to be watching part 2 of NXT's 2-part week of Halloween Havoc, which we'll get into here shortly with the results of part 1 and a preview of what's to come tonight on NXT television with NXT's Halloween Havoc Part 2, still being hosted by the lovely Shotzi and Scarlett of the SmackDown brand. But we got a little bit of stuff to talk about, guys. A lot of news over the weekend and since last week when we were live. I just want to say right off the bat, thank you for tuning in if you're listening to me live. I know this is a special start time for this episode today. Got a lot on my plate, so I had to hop on the air a little earlier than usual. And this also will be the final episode of IE Wrestling Show that is live on Tuesdays, because due to a change in schedule at my job, I will now be going on the air live Wednesday morning, same SoCal Saint time that you're all used to, just a different SoCal Saint day. And speaking of the Saints, go Saints, who dat baby, we got that W this past weekend, and last night, go Rangers. I'm so excited. The Texas Rangers are now leading the Arizona Diamondbacks in the World Series with a lead of 2-1. Hopefully we can keep that going and we bring home the World Series championship here to Arlington, which is literally in my backyard, about a 20-minute drive from where I currently reside here in Fort Worth. So, I'm a happy camper in the sports world today with my Saints getting the W this past weekend and the Arizona Diamondbacks falling to the Texas Rangers yesterday in a great game between those two teams. So, as far as wrestling goes, let's jump right into it, guys. But first, before we do that, a reminder, please follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Please do yourself a favor and do me a favor, help me out, give me a solid follow, and also follow our main page, which is the hub for all of our shows on the IE Sports Radio platform. That's at IE Sports Radio. Do yourself another favor, check out our website, iesportsradio.com. It is literally our headquarters online. It has every show that you've ever wanted to listen to under one roof on our website. If you've missed an episode, you can catch it there. If you want updates on the newest goings-on in the sports world, we have blog postings, and you can actually sign up for free and interact with the hosts of IE Sports Radio, of course. And if you're such a fan of IE Sports Radio and you want to show your love, throw some shekels our way and buy some official IE Sports Radio merch in our shop. And not only that, if you love beef jerky, if you're a fan of delicious beef jerky, check out planetjerky.net. It is our official sponsor of IE Sports Radio. Go to planetjerky.net and order yourself some delicious 100% beef brisket jerky. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah! Let's jump right into it with some wrestling news. So, WWE had a huge announcement. Huge announcement. This past weekend was announced that WWE next year on Saturday, August 31st, 2024, from the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany, it will be Bash in Berlin, the first ever premium live event ever to take place in the country of Germany. WWE has done many tours in Germany, especially when they do their European tour post-WrestleMania every single year. They had many dates in Germany. They had the finals, famously the finals of the WWE Europe, at the time, WWF European Championship Tournament, which was between Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Rest in peace to those two legends. they competed for the WWF European Championship in Munich, Germany. That was not a televised event. That was just a house show where the tournament finals took place. That match itself was filmed, but the whole entire event was not. This will be the first ever premium live event to take place in Germany, in the city of Berlin, Saturday, August 31st, 2024. You can go to WWE.com if you are planning on making a trip to Germany. If you do live in Germany and you're listening to me live, go to WWE.com and sign up for to receive the exclusive pre-sale information for Bash in Berlin. Tickets have yet to go on sale, but yeah, that's huge news. WWE is coming to Berlin next year for a premium live event. Also, I have heard rumors that WWE is also planning a premium live event in Paris, France. That's right, in France. Apparently, Backlash, which usually takes place after WrestleMania, is apparently eyeing Paris, France for the location for the premium live event post-WrestleMania. Once I get some clear information on that, I will let y'all know here on the IE Wrestling Show. So if you see the hashtags, I got some news about a company that I rarely talk about on here, but is definitely doing some great things. Major League Wrestling, that's MLW. MLW actually airs live every week, or I believe it's either live or taped. I'm not really sure. Probably, most likely taped. On the Reels channel. I don't know if anyone has the Reels channel on their cable network, or if they subscribe to that through any other services like Roku or Sling TV or YouTube TV, anything like that. But MLW has their own weekly television show on the Reels channel. I believe it airs on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken, the same day as TNA Impact. But some big major changes coming their way. Apparently, the former MLW Tag Team Champions, Lance Anoa'i, who is actually a cousin of the Tribal Chief, the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa, and his tag team partner in the Samoan SWAT team. What is his name? I had his name written down here. I do apologize. Where is his name? Wow. I do apologize for that, fans. Here we go. Sorry. Lance Anoa'i and Juicy Fanau have been granted after asking for their releases from MLW. So they are no longer under contract to MLW. And here's some further details on that, thanks to WrestlingAttitude.com. Lance Anoa'i made a request for his release from Major League Wrestling, as reported first by Fightful Select with Sean Ross Sapp. However, his request, at the time that this article was written, it wasn't approved, but I had an updated article showing that, yes, it was approved. Lance Anoa'i, hailing from the legendary Samoan wrestling lineage, the Anoa'i family, has been absent from MLW television for a while now. Instead, he has been actively working in Japan with Pro Wrestling Noah. Notably, his name was absent from MLW's most recent online roster update, and he has not appeared at any MLW events since this past July. Currently, he is not scheduled for any future MLW shows. According to the report by Fightful Select, MLW had some initial issues with Anoa'i at the start of 2023 when they were seeking to address. However, as of now, Anoa'i remains firm in his desire to part ways with the company. It's worth mentioning that Anoa'i is not the only wrestler from within MLW looking to secure a release from their contract. Apparently, this was my next article that I was going to touch on. The former MLW World Heavyweight Champion, the longest reigning champion in their company's history, Alex Hammerstone, who is a beast of a man. If you've ever watched any of his matches, this guy is fucking legit. This guy could be a star. I feel like he has WWE written all over him. He has that look. He has the talent he has. This is how I could look at it. He has the body that Vince would love, but the in-ring work that Triple H could build and mold and shape to have a solid talent, if not a big future star on their roster. I feel like WWE should grab him up before Impact or Unfortunately, I hope not, but AEW could, scoop him up. But yes, the former MLW World Heavyweight Champion Alex Hammerstone has requested his release from Major League Wrestling, but as of now, it has not been granted, apparently. According to Fightful, of course, the relationship between Hammerstone and MLW has deteriorated. Earlier this year, discussions took place between the two parties regarding a possible buyout, but MLW's current position is to retain Hammerstone, whom they have been in contact with. The reports suggest that Hammerstone's motivation waned when he was booked to lose the MLW World Heavyweight Championship to Alex Kane earlier this year. His most recent match in MLW was his title loss to Kane. Alex Hammerstone had held the MLW World Heavyweight Championship from October 2021 until July of this year, 2023. When he lost the title to Alex Kane, he signed a multi-year contract with MLW in December 2021, which is reportedly set to run until the end of 2025. In the earlier stages of his MLW career, Hammerstone was part of the Dynasty alongside Richard Holliday and current AEW World Champion MJF. MJF, of course, a big star within the AEW ranks, and Holliday, former tag team championship partner with MJF in MLW, has left MLW. He left earlier this year and recently participated in a WWE tryout. So I don't know what the legalities of that, or if there's going to be a buyout, or what Alex Hammerstone has to do. But Alex Hammerstone is definitely wanting out of his contract with MLW. He does no longer want to be there. Lance Onawai and Juicy Finau have been given their release. I feel like that would be a really big hit to MLW to lose not only their former tag team champions, but their most recognizable and former World Heavyweight Champion, Alex Hammerstone. But, it is what it is with the wrestling business. It's what exactly it is. It's a business. If parties can't agree to something, this is what happens. I feel that if they can't come to some sort of agreement, they need to part ways, because it's just going to create a toxic working environment. It's not going to be pleasant for anyone involved. Management of MLW and Alex Hammerstone. Wow, my brain just automatically went to AEW when I said toxic working environment. I guess that's a Freudian slip if there ever was one. But I will keep y'all posted on that, on the issues going on within MLW. It's sad that I hardly ever talk about MLW here on this show, but when I have to, it's not something pleasant. It's something, it's something negative, pretty much. But we shall see. Here we go. This was strange. This actually came apart after this past weekend. The former WWE Raw Women's Champion, former WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. I am speaking, of course, of Rowdy Ronda Rousey, UFC Hall of Famer as well. She apparently is now no longer under contract to the WWE. She is a free agent because she appeared over the weekend at a house show for an indie wrestling show to play backup to her friend Marina Shafir, famously one of the worst promos ever in professional wrestling that took place on AEW television, of course, within the last year. That was one of her best friends in the world of MMA that also crossed over into the world of professional wrestling. But not only that, it was officially announced via their X account at PW Revolver, that's Pro Wrestling Revolver, breaking news on November 16th, 2023, at the Hominet Men Glendale Ariat, in Los Angeles, California. It'll be live on Fight TV, the debut of Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Tickets go on sale. They went on sale yesterday. Tickets went on sale officially yesterday, Monday, October 30th, at revolvertickets.com. Part of the proceeds will be donated to the Maui Wildfire Relief Fund. That's awesome, but that is crazy. So, Rowdy Ronda Rousey is done with the WWE, but she is now hitting the indie circuit, and she's going to be performing live at Wrestling Revolver. The event is called the Wrestling Revolver Unreal. The Wrestling Revolver Unreal will be live Thursday, November 16th from the Homenetman Glendale Ariat in Los Angeles, California, live on Fight TV. If you're not going to be able to attend live, you can watch it on the Fight TV app. I'm not sure what the purchase price is. If I hear about that, I will give y'all information on that as well in the coming weeks. But that's crazy to me that whatever relationship she previously had with the WWE has broken down so much that she is officially a free agent. She's no longer a part of the company, and now she's hitting the indie scene doing indie dates. I can't even imagine what her fucking asking price is. It's got to be something astronomical for her to be on the indies working wrestling. So I guess I thought she was done with wrestling completely, but I guess she just meant she was done with WWE completely, and she still has a passion for professional wrestling since she's going to be showing up on the indie scene. That's crazy to see. I never expected Rowdy Ronda Rousey to be an indie wrestler at any point in time of her career. I thought she would always be big time, especially after the gigantic career she had in the UFC and followed with the gigantic career. I mean, she did have a very great first year in the WWE, but in all truth, after she went away for a while and had a child and came back, it just never felt the same. There always seemed to be some sort of misstep in her wrestling ability. It just never seemed as crisp in the ring. It seemed like she got more green the less time she was away. You know what I mean? Like that time that she was gone, it just seemed like everything that she had accomplished was just null and void. And then when she came back, it just wasn't the same. She wasn't the same performer. You could tell her heart wasn't 100% in it. It's just her performances really lacked severely after she returned to the WWE last year. And she recently finished up, of course, at SummerSlam this past August in that dreadful, dreadful match with Shayna Baszler, the MMA rules match at SummerSlam. That was literally the worst match on the card, bar none. And that's really sad to say, but it is what it is. And for those who don't know, Wrestling Revolver is the indie wrestling company that is owned and operated by former TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champion, now also a free agent, Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan is being courted by his friend Jon Moxley to come over to AEW in a double role as producer/wrestler, and we'll see about that. I do not know if he's actually signed a deal yet or not, but this is a huge coup for Sami Callihan to gain Rowdy Ronda Rousey for a big event this coming November. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Speaking of AEW, Bryan Danielson, God help him, I swear. I'm a huge fan of Bryan Danielson, but I feel like him leaving WWE for AEW has been a fucking mistake, because I feel like he's getting hurt more here than he ever did in the WWE. Now it seems that way, or at least more frequently anyway. Bryan Danielson has unfortunately suffered another injury, and coincidentally, it was also in a match with Okada, which happened the last time. The last time he got hurt was his broken arm in a match with Okada at Forbidden Door. This happened on a recent episode of Dynamite, and he will be sidelined for the remainder of this year until next year. There's an unknown timetable of recovery. During an announcement on AEW Collision, Claudio Castagnoli revealed that Danielson has sustained a broken orbital bone and will be out of action for the foreseeable future. This was at first seen as a kayfabe injury, not really legit, but it is, in fact, a real injury. The injury appears to have occurred after he was struck by the Orange Punch from Orange Cassidy and then subjected to a Rainmaker by Kazuchika Okada this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Following these incidents, Danielson was seen holding his face and received attention from an AEW official as the episode of Dynamite concluded. According to Tony Schiavone, who provided commentary for Collision, Danielson is slated to undergo surgery, which will keep him out of action for the remainder of the year. So that's a huge letdown for fans of AEW, a huge letdown for fans of Bryan Danielson, that he is now He is now finito for the rest of the year, so to speak, which is really unfortunate. Speaking of AEW, they're actually coming to my backyard in December, on December 13th. If you are going to be in the Arlington area for that time period, it will be AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage taping. So Dynamite will air live on Wednesday, December 13th, and the Friday episode of Rampage will be taped that same night. It'll be at the University of Texas at Arlington, the UTA Arena. I've actually been there twice. I've been there for a TNA pay-per-view, Slammiversary 2014. That's where I saw Kevin Von Erich do his thing in front of unfortunately, it wasn't a sold-out crowd, but that crowd sounded like they were sold out as soon as Kevin Von Erich jumped in the ring. That Texas crowd still has love for the Von Erichs after all these years. And I actually went there for a house show with the WWE, which was also not a sellout, unfortunately, but it was definitely a lot more full than that Impact pay-per-view was at that time. But AEW will be presenting Dynamite and Rampage at the College Park Center in Arlington, Texas. Excuse me. Tickets have already gone on sale, and ticket prices start in the low 20s all the way up to, I believe, $250 if you're going to be in the area. I know I've been very crucial of AEW, but I'm considering going to the show just to experience it for myself live, to see, because I love wrestling. As much as I don't like a company and its owner, I still love wrestling. So I'm really considering going to this show with my dad and a buddy of mine here, so I'll keep you posted if I get myself a set of tickets for that event. And speaking of December events, AEW has announced that they will be doing a final pay-per-view this year after Full Gear, which is next month. And we're going to touch on that here shortly. But AEW has already announced that on, I'm getting the event here, I'm sorry, on December 30th of all days, yes, this is the day before New Year's Eve, in Long Island, New York, December 30th at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Long Island, New York will be the host for All Elite Wrestling AEW World's End. That's right, tickets go on sale Friday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at AEWTix.com. That's AEWTix.com if you are going to be in the Long Island area, if you're going to be wanting to attend. If you're visiting New York, if you live there or if you're visiting for the holiday, it will be live at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Saturday, December 30th, AEW World's End, another pay-per-view event set up by Tony Khan to end the year, I guess, off on a high note, so to speak. So, yeah. That'll be the final pay-per-view of the year for AEW. Let's see what else here we have. Okay, so this was reported, take it with a grain of salt because of the source. It's coming from Tuna Meltzer himself, Dave fucking Meltzer, that douchebag. He is reporting that one idea that was thrown at me, this is him speaking, definitely sounds very just more opinion than anything, that the idea of NXT Europe being completely built around Will Ospreay. How much money they're going to spend on that? And the revival of NXT Europe starts with that thing of obviously what happened with the original NXT UK and its effect on the independent scene in England really hurt it badly. But at the same time, they didn't run regular shows or anything like that. They just did TV tapings. They've got the go-ahead from Endeavor to do it, but you just don't know exactly what that all entails. Of course, Will Ospreay's contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming up. And I didn't report on this last episode, but Will Ospreay has hired Barry Bloom as his agent for when he hits free agent status. Barry Bloom, very famously, was the agent that got big money deals for Chris Jericho, for Goldberg, for the Young Bucks, for Kenny Omega, for the Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash back in the day during the Monday Night Wars. This man is the guy if you're wanting to get the most And that's exactly what Will Ospreay is trying to get. Will Ospreay is a very hot commodity right now. He's done a lot with AEW. He's done a lot with TNA Impact. And WWE has not been ignorant to the fact that he's a big star, and they would love to have him under contract. And I know Will Ospreay has said many times that he doesn't want to work that WWE schedule. He wants to stay in England where he resides, and he just, comes out every so often, like he does currently, to Japan to do his thing and then head back home. I know that's one of his grievances with the WWE. That's why he's never really been interested in going, but he will entertain the idea. He said he'd be stupid not to entertain the idea of going to the WWE. And if this report by Dave Meltzer is true, that Endeavor has given them the go-ahead to relaunch NXT Europe after dissolving NXT UK. That was the idea that was announced by Shawn Michaels a while back. I think it was like at the end of last year. It was announced that they were going to relaunch NXT UK, quote unquote, as NXT Europe, and it would encompass the entire European wrestling scene, not just focus on the UK. And it would be crazy to see Will Ospreay take that job. I mean, like, in all honesty, that might be even more cushier than going to AEW, because Will Ospreay, if they decided to try to lure him to the WWE with that like, hey, we're gonna relaunch NXT Europe, and we're gonna build the entire brand around you. You'll be in your home country. You'll just travel in Europe. You're gonna get paid X amount of dollars to be the face of this brand. That sounds like a pretty fucking awesome deal, in my opinion. But I'm not Will Ospreay, so we will see what the soon-to-be free agent Will Ospreay decides. Will he stay with New Japan? Will he jump ship to AEW? Or will the promise of getting to stay in his home country and have a brand of professional wrestling built solely around him be the catch that grabs him, that seals the deal with the WWE? We shall see. I'll definitely keep you posted on that. Speaking of new signees from the WWE, talking about that, so as reported by Pro Wrestling Network, as of today, this was 4 days ago, excuse me, I always need to preface that when I grab these articles, WWE has officially signed 8 new wrestlers to WWE contracts, which included, I reported on this last week, because the report I found only had the 3 mentioned. I didn't know they had 8 more wrestlers that were signed, but, okay, see, so this report is basically the same thing I reported on last week, because the other 5 names have not been released, but they all will report to the WWE the Performance Center this January. Of course, that is the 3 names that I mentioned last week were the son of WWE legend Fit Finlay and brother of current NJPW wrestler and quote-unquote leader of Bullet Club David Finlay, the brother Brogan Finlay, Lucky Ali, and current DPW champion Jay Malachi have all been signed by the WWE and will report to the Performance Center with the other 5 signees who have not been named yet this January. So that's really good to see. Nice little tidbit here I do want to share. So the segment that happened this past Friday on SmackDown between Roman Reigns and LA Knight, which was so awesome, very, very entertaining as far as contract signing goes. I know they're like kind of played out. They're never really all that great. I know it's just used to like hype up the match and make it feel like big time. But this was actually one of the more entertaining contract signings that they put on WWE television, and apparently the internet thought so as well, because as of today, the Roman Reigns and LA Knight contract signing segment from this past Friday's SmackDown has accumulated more than 34 million views across all official WWE social media clips uploaded by the company thus far. That is fucking insane. For a contract signing for a big, big match between Roman Reigns and LA Knight to hit over 34 million views all over their social media platforms. That means on Facebook, that means on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, all platforms, all totaling at over 34 million views. That is just insane to hear. Just crazy, crazy. Congratulations to LA Knight. and Roman Reigns for that number. I mean, Roman Reigns, of course, anytime he is in the ring, anytime he comes, he has this aura. It's a big fight feel, no matter what. He definitely is. He should change his name from Tribal Chief to the Final Boss, because that's exactly what he is. He's like a video game's final boss. It's like you fight, you scratch and you claw, you beat all the other levels, you beat all the other underbosses to get to this moment, the final boss of the video game. And somehow, some way, for the last 3 fucking years, this final boss of Roman Reigns has been unfucking stoppable. He is like fucking invincible. There's just nothing you can do to beat this guy. And I honestly love LA Knight. I'm a huge fan, but I don't see him winning this match. I really feel like they're headed to WrestleMania for another Cody Reigns rematch, and that's who it has to be. It has to be Cody. It just has to, especially how WrestleMania ended this year. It has to be Cody. It just has to. In my heart, in my opinion, it's got to be Cody. Cody is still the man. He's still the top babyface in the company, period. LA Knight, not taking anything away from him. He's fucking talented beyond than anything anybody ever thought he would be, especially after starting out with such a shit gimmick when he came to the main roster as Max Dupree with the Maximum Male Models, that bullshit. And then when Triple H took over creative, was like, fuck that. Let's start from scratch. You're LA Knight once again. He let LA Knight be LA Knight, and it turned into this massive thing. He's super fucking over. Yeah! So we shall see. And we'll get into that here shortly, in just a moment. More on Crown Jewel here shortly. But this thing I found actually last night when I was scrolling for articles to talk about today. Fightful Select, also take that with a grain of salt, has reported that Drew McIntyre, who is scheduled to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship this coming weekend, still has not signed a new contract or an extension with the WWE, despite his current deal expiring in just a couple of months. That is, wow. I don't know how WWE hasn't come to him with a contract as of yet. I feel like he's Drew is finally doing something great. He's very he's not just like kind of just whatever. He's not just floundering. He's not just just doing something just to do it. I feel like Drew is on his is on the comeback. I really feel, and this is what he should be doing. I feel this is a slow burn as far as like him doing a heel turn, but we shall see. We shall see. We'll take a quick break and hear from one of our other members of the IE Sports Radio family before we get into the preview for this coming weekend's Crown Jewel, and of course tonight's part 2 of Halloween Havoc. Stay tuned, guys.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From where we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, pro wrestling fans, to the only professional wrestling show on the IE Sports Network, the best professional wrestling podcast on the IE Sports Radio Network. It is your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. Welcome back to IE Wrestling Show. That is the IE Wrestling Show with your boy, the SoCal Saint. If you're just tuning in live on the Spreaker, if you're listening on the download of one of our many platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you, of course. Just give us a like, a share, a subscribe, show some love. If you just listen to the, shout out to all the great shows that I just gave some shine to. 3 and Out with our boy Larry B, the head honcho, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show with our boy Taryn Rodriguez, and of course the main man Drewski, with his Heart of Texas show. Awesome, great show. I know Drewski's celebrating our victory last night against the Arizona Diamondbacks with the Texas Rangers getting the W. I know, unfortunately, Drewski is also a Cowboys fan, which I know me and him will definitely not see eye to eye on that, but that's neither here nor there. Just wanted to show some love to my brothers here on IE Sports Radio. So we went over some wrestling news, and now we're going to get into some previews for some upcoming events. Let's start off, actually, we're going to work our way to tonight's event of Halloween Havoc, but we're going to start with AEW's next pay-per-view outing will be live Saturday, November 18th, 2023, live on pay-per-view. And if you're going to be in the Los Angeles area, it will be live from Inglewood, California. Inglewood, always up to no good. It's going to be from the Kia Forum, in Los Angeles suburb of Inglewood, California. It will be AEW Full Gear. Full Gear will be the first AEW pay-per-view emanating from Los Angeles, California. Of course, the Kia Forum formerly known when I was a kid, was the Great Western Forum. That's what it used to be known as. That's where the Los Angeles Lakers made their home for many, many years before heading to the, I guess, what is it called now? The Crypto.com Arena? It used to be called the Staples Center, but whatever. I guess it goes to the highest bidder, correct? So these matches have been announced so far for AEW Full Gear. For the pre-show, it's already been announced that a tag team match will take place for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Of course, MJF is a holder of one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. His partner, currently Adam Cole, Bebe, is out with an ankle injury. He just had surgery. He's going to be out for quite some time. So MJF has to find himself a replacement champion to join him in the title defense against members of Bullet Club Gold, Austin and Colton Gunn, the Guns. Then we have a one-on-one match for the AEW Women's World Championship. It will be Hikaru Shida defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Timeless Toni Storm. Hopefully that's a decent match. And then we have a 6-man tag team match. It's going to be Sting, Darby Allin, and another tag team partner to be announced. Most likely it's going to be Adam Copeland. I can't see it being anyone else. I don't know why they don't just announce it. It just makes sense storyline-wise, but, storylines making sense are not Tony Khan's forte. We'll be taking on Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne in a 6-man tag team match. And the main event that has been announced for AEW Full Gear will be for the AEW World Championship. MJF, doing double duty, will be defending the AEW World Championship against leader of Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade Jay White. That is probably the only match I really want to see on this card is Jay White and MJF for the world title. I feel like it's time to give Jay White his due. Jay White would probably be a great world champion, but we shall see. Next up, actually, it's coming this weekend. I'm really looking forward to this. I cannot wait. It'll be WWE Crown Jewel, emanating live from the Mohammed Abdu Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And it'll be showing live on Peacock, on the Peacock app, as well as internationally on the WWE Network. This is going to be the 10th event that WWE has held in Saudi Arabia under their 10-year partnership in support of Saudi Vision 2030. And these are the matches that have been announced. This is actually a really solid card. I don't know if there's more matches that will be announced before the event this Saturday, but I think this is the final card for the event on the pre-show, just announced today. This will be on the pre-show. I didn't even know they were even going to have a pre-show, but this is awesome. On the pre-show, it will be Sami Zayn returning to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Sami Zayn will go one-on-one with the sort of member, not officially, but kind of hangs around anyway, of the Judgment Day, J.D. McDonough, in a one-on-one match on the pre-show. Then we get to the official card. That should be a really good match regardless. It should get the crowd real hot and excited and just really pumped and ready for the event to actually officially start. This match was made official after this past Friday on SmackDown for the WWE Women's Championship. It will be Io Sky defending the WWE Women's Championship, of course, with her Damage Control cohorts in her corner, Bayley and Dakota Kai, going one-on-one against the EST of the WWE, Bianca Belair. In a huge match. This is definitely huge for Solo Sikoa's young career, and this is going to be a big, big event. This is actually, right now, the final appearance that is scheduled for John Cena. In Saudi Arabia, John Cena will go one-on-one with Solo Sikoa. I'm really looking forward to this match. I think these two guys are going to have a hell of a match. I know Cena has already been talking about how his days in the ring are numbered. He can't do it like he used to do it. He's got to do it on a part-time basis, which is cool. It makes it feel more special whenever John shows up. I know still the actors are on strike. I know writers are back to work in Hollywood, but the SAG-AFTRA strike is still ongoing in Hollywood, so Cena is still technically without a job, if you want to get technical. He's still out of work at the moment. So, I mean, he could always come back to the WWE to do some things, depending on where this strike goes, because it's not looking like it's coming to an end anytime soon at the moment. But I'm really looking forward to this match between Cena and Sikoa. This should be a really good match. It should definitely highlight and be a big I do see Sikoa winning this match. I can't see Cena beating him. It would just make more sense for Sikoa to get the victory over a big name like Cena, because Sikoa has always been booked very strongly. He's only lost twice on WWE television, once to Cody Rhodes and once to LA Knight. So, like, it means something when Solo loses a match, because he's been booked so strongly. Speaking of Cody, in a one-on-one match, it will be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes going one-on-one with one half of the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions and Senior Money in the Bank himself, Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. I look forward to this match as well. I think Damian Priest and Cody could have a very good match against one another. I was almost looking forward to a feud between Balor and Cody, but I guess they went ahead and went with Priest instead. But this should also be a good match regardless. One of the biggest match of the night, and I feel it's going to have the result that many people are not expecting. For the WWE United States Championship, it will be Rey Mysterio, the WWE Hall of Famer, leader of the LWO, defending the United States Championship against Logan Paul, the Maverick. Logan Paul challenged Rey Mysterio, and he's going to go one-on-one for the United States title. I honestly think that Saturday night is the night that Logan Paul becomes a WWE champion. I hate to say it, as much as I love Rey Mysterio, I got to give props to Logan Paul, because he's acclimated himself to professional wrestling in a way I thought no celebrity would ever do so until, I mean, besides Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny in the few appearances he's made has been a fucking just wow. He has blown me away with his dedication to the professional wrestling business. Same with Logan Paul. His dedication to getting better it's insane how good Logan Paul has come in such a short time. And I do feel like Logan Paul is going to walk out of Saudi with the United States Championship on his shoulder. That's my pick for that match, unfortunately. In a fatal five-way match for the WWE Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley's biggest title defense to date. Rhea Ripley, mommy herself, leader of the Judgment Day, defends the Women's World Championship against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, and Zoe Stark. This is definitely the biggest defense of Rhea Ripley's title reign this year. She won the title, of course, this past April at WrestleMania from Charlotte Flair. It was the SmackDown Women's Championship originally before it was transformed into the Women's World Championship with the introduction of the World Heavyweight Championship. So this is definitely her biggest title defense to date for sure. Speaking of the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth freaking Rollins comes full circle after winning the World Heavyweight Championship in Saudi this past May at Night of Champions. It will be Seth freaking Rollins defending the very title he won in the country of Saudi Arabia against this Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. This will be a hell of a match. I feel these guys will beat the living hell out of each other. They will not be pulling any punches. This is straight down the middle. There's no real personal feud between the two of them. This isn't like a blood feud like Nakamura and Rollins. This is more professional, just a professional beatdown. That's what it's going to be, because these two men respect each other. These two men are very well loved by the WWE Universe. This is going to be a hard-hitting match where it splits the company, splits the fans down the middle. I really don't have a pick, because I like Rollins and I like McIntyre. If I had to choose, I got to say, I'm sorry, Rollins. I would go with McIntyre in a shock victory. I would go with McIntyre winning the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'll go with that. If anybody has to win, if I had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. That's just that, but that's if I absolutely had to pick a winner. And in the main event for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, with his wise man at his side, Paul Heyman, will defend the title against the megastar LA Knight. Yeah! LA Knight's biggest match. This is LA Knight's coming out party. LA Knight, in such a short amount of time, has skyrocketed his popularity. He's one of the biggest stars in the WWE today. He's one of their highest grossing merchandise sellers. For the last 4 months in a row, he has been tops 1, 2, 3, 4. He's always in the top 5 when it comes to merchandise sales. LA Knight is a big star, and this is his big chance to show everyone on the biggest stage possible in the country of Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, at Crown Jewel, going one-on-one for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Do I see him winning the title in a shocking move? Quite honestly, no. But this is going to be a big match, and it's going to showcase that LA Knight belongs in the main event scene of the WWE for the foreseeable future. And with that, tonight is part 2 of NXT's 2-week Halloween Havoc event. Yes, here on All Hallows Eve, it is Halloween Havoc part 2. Last week, Halloween Havoc part 1 took place, and this is how it went down. In a pre-show match, that was a dark match, actually, for the live crowd, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen defeated Tavion Heights and Riley Osborne in a tag team match for just the live crowd. The night started off live on USA with Roxanne Perez defeating Kiana James in a spin the wheel, make the deal, Devil's Playground match. And Roxanne Perez looked absolutely gorgeous, dressed like Freddy Krueger. Never thought I would say that, but she made Freddy Krueger look damn cute with her attire on on last week's episode. And then in an awesome match, I got to watch it I missed it, unfortunately, when it aired live, but I was able to find it online and watch it. The debut of Brian Pillman Jr. no longer. He is now going by the name Alexis King, making a name for himself in that one presentation. The entrance, the music, the match, the aftermatch. Everything about that entire debut in 4 minutes and 12 seconds, Alexis King was made to look like a star in 4 minutes and 12 seconds than his entire run in AEW. And people, if you want to get mad at me, so be it, but it's the fucking truth. 4 minutes and 12 seconds is all it took to make Lexus King look like a fucking star. And that's less time than Tony Khan did with him. I mean, Tony Khan didn't do shit with him the entire time he was under contract. He only hired him for his name, but he didn't do a fucking thing with him. He put him in a nowhere nothing tag team with a guy I can't even remember his name. They ended up splitting him from the girl that was their manager, and did nothing with him. Put him in dark matches, put him on YouTube, never did a fucking thing with him. And in 4 minutes and 12 seconds, Shawn Michaels and Triple H turned the dark match wrestler of AEW into a fucking future star. Lexus King is here, he's arrived, and he will have a bright future, most definitely. And in a semifinal match for the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, Keelana Jordan defeated Ariana Grace to hit the finals match. She is now in the finals of the Women's Breakout Tournament. And in a shocking win, I was not expecting this, for the NXT Tag Team Championship, Chase University, Duke Hudson and Andre Chase defeated the family, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, to win the NXT Tag Team titles. Definitely was not expecting that. I thought the family would definitely have the titles a little longer, but wow, Chase University now holding the NXT Tag Team title gold. And in another spin the wheel, make the deal match, a lights out match, Blair Davenport was able to defeat Gigi Dolan in a one-on-one match. That was also a very good match, lights out match, very reminiscent of the lights out match that took place in January at the Royal Rumble with Bray Wyatt, God rest his soul, and LA Knight. It was a blight hue over the ring, but these two women really put it out there. A lot of nice high spots in that match. Blair Davenport getting the victory over Gigi in that match. In the second semifinal match of the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, we saw Lola Vice, with Elektra Lopez in her corner, defeat Carmen Prechovic to advance to the final match of the Women's Breakout Tournament. And in the main event, in another shocker, and in an awesome, fantastic women's wrestling match, Lyra Valkyria, is that how you say it? Valkyria? Lyra Valkyria, I said it like 5 times, defeated Becky Lynch. That's right, she defeated the man, big time Becky Lynch, to become the NXT Women's Champion. Awesome match. It made Lyra look like a fucking star. Becky did the honors like she's supposed to do, and dropping a title to an up-and-coming superstar like Lyra. Very, very solid match. Lyra getting the win, and the crowd popped huge for that. It's great to see. Lyra is now the NXT Women's Champion. And tonight, this is the upcoming card for NXT's Halloween Havoc Night 2. It will be Keilana Jordan versus Lola Vice in the finals for the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. And we're going to get Mr. Stone, that's Robert Stone, the manager of Von Wagner, going one-on-one with Braun Breaker. And I believe this will be their final appearance on NXT tonight, as they made their debut last night on Monday Night Raw. The Creed brothers, Brutus Creed and Julius Creed, with Ivy Nile, excuse me, who was also with them last night on Raw, will go 2-on-2 against Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo in a tables, ladders, and scares match. That should be really, really awesome to see. This should be their final appearance on NXT, because I believe their move to Raw is a permanent one. So I believe the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile are now a part of the Raw brand officially. So this will be their swan song from NXT here tonight on Halloween Havoc. Dirty Dominic Mysterio returns to NXT. He will be defending NXT North American Championship. And of course, the Women's World Champion, Mommy, will be by his side as he defends that title against Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier, a definitely awesome talent, a former NXT Heritage Cup champion in the UK. During NXT UK, I mean. He's very high-flying, hard-hitting wrestler, and I think him and Dirty Dominic will have a great match for the NXT North American title here tonight. After what took place on NXT Halloween Havoc Part 1 last week, in a backstage segment involving Chase University and the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, will return to NXT to defend their women's tag team titles against Chase University's female members, Thea Hale and JC Jane. And in a one-on-one match, after Tiffany Stratton was insulted by Fallon Henley being dressed up like her for Halloween Havoc last week, it will be a grudge match between Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley live on NXT Halloween Havoc tonight. And, of course, the main event, the match I'm really looking forward to. This match could be the match. Hell, it will be the match of the night, most likely. This is the trifecta. This is the third time these two men will go at it for the NXT Championship. Each man has a victory against the other. This is the rubber match. For the NXT Championship, the current champion, Ilya Dragunov, defends the WWE NXT Championship against him, Carmelo Hayes. This will be an awesome match. This is the rubber match. These two guys have laid it on the line. Their last match was fucking fantastic. Definitely a match of the year candidate in all of professional wrestling, for sure, for the year 2023. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure to see if they could top their second match, because their first match was hard to top, but somehow they did it. And if they can do it again, I definitely think they can. So Dragunov and Hayes, one more time for the NXT Championship tonight, live on the USA Network. It's NXT Halloween Havoc Part 2, and it is going to be hosted, of course, by SmackDown superstars Scarlett Bordeaux and Shotzi Blackheart. Guys, tune in to NXT. If you're not out trick-or-treating with the kiddos. Tune in to NXT Halloween Havoc Part 2, and do not miss a great night of professional wrestling. And with that, we have come to the end of the IE Wrestling Show. I'm already a minute over time. I do apologize for that, but I had to get everything in there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I loved every minute of this show being live for you on Tuesday mornings. But as I stated at the beginning of the show, starting next week, because of my work schedule change, I will be coming to you live Wednesday morning, same SoCal Saint time, just a different SoCal Saint day. For IE Sports Radio, for myself, the SoCal Saint, please follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. And, of course, give Planet Jerky a shout-out. Go to planetjerky.net and buy yourself some delicious jerky. It could make a great stocking stuffer this year, because we're almost towards time where it's time to start shopping for Christmas, guys. And that'll be hell. If Santa needs to lay off the cookies, get him some beef jerky and put it out for him. Give him some jerky and a nice cold glass of, I guess, water. I don't know what you would put with jerky. I mean, I don't really drink soda, so I drink water mostly. But, hey, if you're trying to give Santa some healthy options, give him some 100% no MSG, low in sodium, high in protein, 100% beef brisket jerky from planetjerky.net. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. And for that, guys, that is it. Take care. Have fun. Stay safe. And remember, just have fun and love professional wrestling and whatever you do. Happy Halloween, everyone! Ha ha ha!